Okay, so I think many of you familiar with this sheet. Recommended course sequence will be in graphic design. Let's start with the graphic design here. That you need 17 courses, total of 51 credit, and this tells you the recommended. And in the first year, when you come in, you can work with a 2D, 3D. Then next semester, intro drawing, intro graphic design. It's recommended. So it means that if there's some way, or some reason that you can't get that, you can change these. I recommend you to change for winter, but I would not really recommend you to change the year. So do your best. For example, you can, you're working. I know you're working on a software here. Recommend these four for sure, and total by then it's 12 credit. Now every year they should earn about 132 credit um, every year. So other 20 credit or so will be gen ed. And what's important in people in graphic design is that 250 to be done in first year. And if you don't get the 250 done in first year, you can take a 260, so without delay the actually whole year. So it's critical before anything else actually in this, the 250 to be taken. And we put it in the second semester because it's nice to know the 2D, and it's about colors before you take enter the graphic design. So, but if you have to, they can take the 250 in the fall. Okay, then when you go to second year, what's critical here is 201 to be taken in the fall, because 201 is only offered in the fall semester at this time. Okay, and 202 is offered in the winter semester. It's just like 250. If you stop, if you didn't take it, these two in the second year, you're gonna have to wait till third year. Then advanced art history has to be waited the fourth year, and it's not a good idea to take in advanced art history in the fourth year, because if you didn't do well, for example, you gotta wait for whole year. And advanced art history, many students have a hard time. It's a tough courses, and not the other courses are not tough, but many students struggle in art history. So it's a good idea to take it in a third year in advanced courses. So in a case if you didn't do well, you can take in a fourth year. So I guess this 4 year thing or recommended courses is for you to be able to structure the whole year when you first come in and be able to adjust accordingly. If you feel pretty confident about art history courses, for example, it is possible that you take art history in fourth year, and your reading is good, writing is good, then you probably don't have to worry too much about it. But as those of you who are not uh, as good in reading and writing, I really recommend everybody to take 201 in the fall, 202 in the fall of the second year. Then third year, take the upper level art history here. So you finish up the art history requirement in before you go into senior year. Senior year, you be busy taking upper level graphic design courses and create your portfolio. Okay. So I just went off a little bit, but because of the art history. But again, so first year these four, second year you take 201, 260 in a fall semester, and the winter semester 202. Then one of these foundation courses, painting, printmaking, photography, or watercolor. Okay, and that's just the art courses that's required. It's possible you can take this course over here if you like, or if you feel okay, I'm ready for graphic design, you can take this art foundation here and take a typography here, for example. And the reason is typography is here Yeah, because you've taken it's 260 at this time, you could possibly move it. But it's good to get rid of this, get this done, and we have this kind of organize this so that you take two courses at the same time as much as possible, because there's other courses, gen ed courses you have to take. Okay, so there is couple of options here that you could take this over here, or you said, okay, I don't want to take any more gen ed, take this art foundation over here and move this typography over here. It is possible. Okay, and just have to say a few words about the typography and R370. Those students who came in recently, this year, last year, the 350 is a required course. You need to have this to graduate. But if you came in before that, it's 370 that's required. So one thing you have to check and see what year of catalog year you came. And we just changed it 2 years ago that the typography is required. Then 370 is one of the electives for upper level graphic design courses. But since 370 deal with the Photoshop, that we highly recommend it for all of you to take if you just came recently. If you came a couple years ago, or more than that, 3 4 years ago, then 370 is required. Then 350 it's not required, but if you don't take 350, this course 350 is prerequisite for all these, so you have to take it anyway. And this is why we made the 350 is required, 370 to be one of the upper level courses. Okay, so you don't have to take it, but we highly recommend it. um, so again, there are 17 courses that's required for BFA, not BFA, BA in graphic design. Okay, and the upper level graphic design courses here, 1 2 3 4 5 6. In this situation, 1 2 3 4 5 6 upper level graphic design plus 350 is required. Okay, and this tells you you can take 350 here or 370 here. It's either way. Okay, now on all the majors, as part of general education requirement, all students are required to take two communication intensive courses. Our department strongly recommend that all graphic design major take R130, Art and Understanding, to fulfill one of their two required CI courses. Okay, so what happened is that the everybody have to take one course in category 2, and there are many choices: theater courses, music courses in Art 100 and Art 130. We're recommending you to take Art 130 so that you can count that as not only category 2 but as a communication intensive. So but if you feel no, I want to take communication intensive from other area, okay, then you know how to take Art 130. Maybe you can take Art 100, but or theater or music. But we're recommending this because this course Art 130 is about learning how to write about art, and that's something you all have to do. So this will be good for you. This does not go to your majors. Okay, this goes to category 2 of general education requirement, plus goes to communication intensive. So you get the two things done and taking one course. That's why we're recommending it. Okay, now another thing about the BA in graphic design, there are some courses that's not may not list in your order, and will count as a upper level course, but doesn't go to upper level graphic design electives. And one of the courses are 385, and we can talk. I'm going to talk more about that. But or sometimes a special topic are 390. And the reason is 385 was offered only a couple years ago, the new course. So if you're a junior, senior, you may not count toward this. But all you need to do is file a petition with the Professor Vanguard or the chair of the department. Okay, and by so you can write down, contact the chair of the department so that R385 account or 390G account, or it may be 390 if you've taken the course a little while back. So there are some courses like overseas study courses. You always get the special topic courses, and you should find out whether the count for graphic design major or not. And if it does count, then you got to make a petition form. Okay, file a petition form, then so that it will count toward this. Okay. Okay, now I will talk a little bit about the visual arts majors. Now visual art major is also BA, but it's very different from other BA. And the reason is that you have to take courses not only from our department, but you also have to take a courses from College of Education. So 20 courses required for a total of 63 credit. Okay, and plus all the courses for the certification requirement from College of Education. Student must apply and be accepted to College of Education. That's done usually on the end of at the end of sophomore year. So, uh, um, and if you decide to be in visual or education, there's no minor. You don't have time for minor, because by the time you take major and from us in College of Education, you're talking go over 90 credit, and plus gen ed. And you have to be very careful what kind of gen ed you're taking if you're this visual art education major. And the reason is, in order to be a teacher, you have to take a TE 100, Teacher Education 100, Psych 100. There are several courses that is required by the state of Michigan. So it's very important if you want to be an art teacher, public school art teacher, that you follow these orders carefully. Okay, and so you don't waste any credit, or you're not gonna go behind. So more than any other majors, you really have to be careful how you follow this. So 2D intro drawing, 3D intermediate. Obviously you have to have an intro drawing first semester, definitely. Because you have to take intermediate drawing next semester. You cannot take intermediate drawing without intro drawing. So you can switch these two, but you cannot switch these two in fall and winter. Okay, and 201, 202, just like I talked about. 201 is only offered in the fall, and 202 is in winter. And I even have a couple of upper level of advanced studio courses here in the spring and summer, because you'll be packed with courses to take. And keep yourself very busy if you are a visual art education major, in a sense that with the courses for the major, because you don't have a minor. Okay, not that BA in graphic design is not busy, they're busy too. So okay, as you can see, you got to take a bunch of foundation courses, all these printmaking, photography, sculpture. You have to take all that. So you got our advanced foundation elective courses written over here. If you want to, you can take some of the upper level here. Since all spring summer I can't, you just have to take it over here. So definitely 18, 20 credit, 18, 21 credit. You're gonna have to take every semester if you want to be a visual art education major and want to graduate in 4 years. Okay, so this will keep you busy. Okay, then one of the thing you need to know about the this major is that when you're taking the upper level advanced studio, you have to pick your area of concentration. Okay, area of concentration is either sculpture, photography, printmaking, sculpture, painting, printmaking, photography, or ceramics. Okay. Graphic design is not one of the choice they give you for concentration because it's art teaching position, not graphic design. But you still are required to take one of the graphic design courses though as a foundation. But for advanced studio courses, you have to pick area of concentration. Again, sculpture, painting, drawing, printmaking, photography, or ceramic. Then you take the 9 credit of it, or 3 advanced courses. Okay, and that's the requirement by the state of Michigan to be the art teacher. Okay, so not that I made that up, it's just something the state of Michigan has required us, you to take. Okay, then obviously these courses you still have to take upper level art history just like any other majors, foundation, um, and I put this upper level advanced studio here in spring summer, but you certainly can take it over here. Okay. Then one very important element on this visual art education major is these 3 courses: 319, 320, and 487. Now these courses are required by the state of Michigan. It's courses about art method teaching, or art method of teaching art. Okay, and and we offer it only as independent study. We don't offer it as a regular course because there aren't enough students, 10, 15 students per class, or used to, but it's reduced, as some of you may know. So when you have a less than 10 students, or 300 level course, so 7 students or so, we can only offer as independent study. So what you need to do is you have to get your independent study form when you're ready to be accepted into college of education. Okay, I recommend you to do this in junior year, but if you like, if you think you got most of the foundation done, you can do this in the end of the sophomore years. I will not wait this till senior year because senior year you'll be busy taking all these college of education courses. Again, senior years you'll be full with taking courses from college of education. Okay, after you get accepted college of education. Okay, so this is independent study. You have to get the form. You have to get it signed by the teacher who is teaching this course independently. And at this point, it's Gary Rocha, who is also a high school full-time art teacher. And then chair of the department would sign it. And you meet with Gary for once a week. And he usually have a 2 5 students depending on semester, and meet you in particular time of day, usually like 6 to 10 or something like that, once a week, and he'll go over it. He teach like a class, so there's no really formal lectures, but he'll sit down in a table and go over all the materials you need. Then you did observation in the class, and if it's 319, it's a K36 class, and you have, or you can contact your own elementary school of your choice, or he can find it for you, and you make observation. I think for a particular number of hours, then you teach particular number of hours. Then 320 is same thing, except this is the secondary, so 6 to 12, and often Gary would want you to teach in his high school, and make observation, and learn about the lesson plan, and assessment method, and all that things. So these 2 courses are courses you need to take. I recommend you to take once you get accepted in college of education. Okay, then or almost to be end of sophomore year, and you know you have a good enough grade, you're gonna get accepted and all that. So Then this one 487, also an independent study, but this one is more of a overall teaching method course that again Gary will go over, and grant writing I think is one of them. How to deal with the class regulations and the school, how to become a good educator, public educator, and that's what this is. Anyhow, so these are three courses you have to be in, always be aware of, being taking as independent study. Okay, and let's see. Okay, and the bottom one is same as okay, recommended out 130. Um, if you are this major, as I said, you gotta always be in contact with the chair of the department. Make sure you're taking right courses, and also you have to be in contact with the people in College of Education, certification officer. Today, at this time, today it's college. It's Kathy Lopez, is her name. But you contact College of Education and find out who the certification officer is, and you keep in touch with him or her, and make sure you can apply, and then they tell you when to apply, and I think you have to have an interview, and so you'll be taking the right courses, such as T 100 and the Psych 100 in appropriate time. If I were you, I'll contact the College of Education in first year and see when they can talk to them and they can have a file, your file, as soon as possible. Okay, first year. It doesn't really have to be here, but around here or there. Okay, so that's the College of Education here. Let's see. Let me see. What do I have to do to move this? Maybe I have to do this. Okay, I'm having a real hard time right now to move this. Oh, here you go. Okay. Then the third one. Oh, this is 1, 2. Okay. So next one is the BA in Art. BA in Art, Bachelor of Art is the very similar first, with the visual art education first semester is, or first year is, to the intro drawing. Make sure you take intro drawing in the fall so they can take intermediate in the winter. Then, and after that, very similar to college of education, except the you can spread out more because it's 51 credit. Okay, and just like a BA in graphic design, minor is required, and you get these choices of what courses you can take, many foundation courses, then upper level art history, just like our other majors, and advanced electives. There's no requirement. You can take as many different elective as and advanced courses as you want. It's not like college of education. You must take the one concentration area. There's no concentration area, so it's relatively simple and straightforward when you come to the courses you have to take. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 12 credit in the upper level, and foundation is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15 credit. So it's pretty simple. 12 credit here, 12 credit here, make it 24. Then ask you to take a 15 credit here and make it 39, and again 12, make it 51. Okay, so all right, then the last one is BFA. Oops, didn't have to delete it, but BFA is very different from all three, and as I explained in the earlier video, Bachelor of Fine Art is name of the degree. Okay, and you have a major called photography, printmaking, ceramics, sculpture, and graphic design. Okay, painting, drawing. These are, and then you get to pick your concentration. You get to pick majors. Um, this is 82 credit. That means you don't need any minor. You take only one. You only have one major, one degree, Bachelor of Fine Art, and no other uh, 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 minor requirement. And I cannot tell you the importance of sticking to the schedule as tight as you can if you're thinking want to graduate in 4 years. Very few students in BFA graduate in 4 years because they change their majors or they come from different majors, uh, uh, um, or they don't stick to it. But if you stick to it very tightly, carefully, you can take you can graduate in 4 years. And what's important is that at the end of the third year, you apply to BFA program. Okay, at the end of the third year. Well, actually, this will be January, okay, of this, so that you get accepted. Once you get accepted, you have to stay for 1 year and have a show over here in the senior year. Again, you apply to BFA program in the second semester of the junior year. Then, when you get accepted, you will graduate in the fourth year. And actually, many of the students who come in transfer didn't or change the majors can apply here, and wait for another semester. That's kind of 4.5 years, very typical. But you don't need to do that. If you come in from the beginning, take these four and stick to what you need to take, and decide your concentration area or decide your major, and start taking upper level advanced courses, and they take a couple extra one in spring and summer, which is the important thing for the BFA people, because BFA, once you get accepted, there will be several reviews, and you're going to be assigned with 3 advisors, and you're going to have reviews, and you have to pass these reviews. So you cannot be not taking summer, spring and summer courses. You must always produce. You must always be in contact with the advisors, and work toward oral review and BFA exhibition and pass that. And the it tells you, how many courses you have to take in all that. It's a 33 credit of upper level. You have to have 33 credit. That's 11 courses of upper level courses, and that's studio courses upper level. And out of 11 or 33 credit, 24 must be your area of concentration. So 24 means 8. 8 courses must be in graphic design if you are BFA in graphic design. So that means 3 more you have to take. That could be photography or painting, drawing, or ceramics, or all 11 could be graphic design. Okay. Now those 11 courses you take, one of them must be right here, Art 495 Independent BFA Studio. This is required. This is a required course, and it counts as area of concentration. So, and the reason we have this is for you to have the independent study with the professor of your choice, and usually main advisor, and go over your BFA exhibition, go over the oral review, artist statement you have to write. So this independent study is is the key for you to have a successful uh, uh, passing of a show and oral review. Okay, so so I guess this will be a 11th, so 10 of them could be your studio courses. Now, in addition to it, you have to have this 480 arts management. This is a required course. It's not the studio course, but it's about learning how to be an artist, how to survive in artist, writing a resume, apply for a job, apply for a grant, You can do some volunteering. There are many things you can do in this arts management class. Okay, so that is the four degrees: BA in graphic design, Bachelor of Art in graphic design, Bachelor of Art in art, Bachelor of Art in visual art education, and BFA degree explanation. Okay.